Hi guys, welcome to Paul's DIY, and in this one we are going to be doing a custom 12-inch Cosplay Chris figurine. Now the reason I decided to do this is because I came across a 12-inch WWE figurine that I thought kind of reminded me of Cosplay Chris. I thought with a bit of custom paint job and with obviously the iconic yellow super suit type thing, I could do a pretty good representation of his YouTube channel logo. So yeah, enjoy! Okay guys, that's the yellow suit now finished. I didn't record me doing it because it's pretty much the same way I did the Nightmare Batman jacket, and I simply placed the figure on some yellow material as you saw, drew around it, cut it out, did it twice and then sewn them together. I've already tried the legs, they fit. The arms are a bit tight and I might have to take the hands off, and the way I'm going to do that is with some hot boiling water to soften up the plastic, so the hands should just pop right off. Put the suit on and then pop them back on. What I've also done is cut a slit down the back, which will enable me to get the figure in even easier, and then what I'll do after that is just sew that back up. You won't see that because the cape will cover it. So the next step is to actually try and get him in the yellow suit. Okay guys, so a bit of a change of plan. The top half of the suit that I made was too small on the shoulders and on the arms, and it ripped. So what I've done is I've cut it off because the trousers fit fine, and then I'll be trimming it a bit more so it's in line with the trunks, the blue trunks that I'll be making, and then I'll make the top separate and the trunks will cover up the seam. Okay guys, the second attempt still hasn't gone right. I'm still too short on the arms. You can see the stitching now bursting, and it's still too tight around the front, and I can't even do it around the back. So I'm going to unstitch it this time and lay it back out and trace around it, obviously bigger. So yeah, hopefully third time lucky. Okay guys, so take 3 on the top half of the costume for the figure, and I think this is going to be the one. It fits perfectly around the sides, and what I've done is I've actually, instead of doing straight arms, I've actually done, when I drew around the figure, I drew around the actual muscles of the arm, so hopefully when they're sewed together it will be quite snug, but not too tight to where it's pulling away the stitching. As I mentioned, it's fitting quite well on these sides, so all I've got to do is stitch up the tops of the arms, fold it the right way around, and hopefully it'll go on nice and snug. Okay guys, that's the third attempt for the jumper, or the top for the costume for the figurine done. It won't fit over, so as I mentioned, what I'm going to do is going to cut down the back, slip the arms on, so when I cut it down the back it's pretty much going to look like a hospital gown type thing. Slip the arms through and then I'll stitch it up once it's on, and like I mentioned, you won't see that because the cape will cover it, so let's try and put it on. Okay guys, the top was a complete success, drawing around the actual contours of the body and then sewing it together made it fit perfectly. I even like how it actually fits around the six-pack and the pecs of the figure, and if I turn around I'll show you how I did it. So as I mentioned, you won't be able to see this because the cape will cover it, but I pulled it tight around the waist and around the back of the chest, around the back, and sewed it together snug. As I mentioned, you're not going to see the stitching because the cape is going to be covering it. So as I mentioned, really happy with how this has turned out. I had already done the trousers, as you can see, but again I just drew straight lines, and compared to the top they're actually fitting quite baggy. So it took 3 attempts to do the top. I'm on my second attempt now at the trousers, and again as I've done with the top the third time, I've drawn around the contours of the actual legs, and there's the second one. So I'm going to attempt to stitch those together, and hopefully they will fit nice and tight around the legs. And then what I'll do is, once I'm happy with the way the trousers look, I'll stitch them together with the top, and then I'll do the blue trunks over the top of the seam, so you won't be able to see it, and it'll just look like one complete yellow bodysuit. So the next step is to sew these two together. Okay guys, we're halfway there. Change of plan again. I used the original trousers I sewed together, and I turned them inside out and went over the seams and sewn them a little bit tighter, as you can see. So now they are skin tight, same as the top. So the next step now is to do the blue trunks and the blue cape, and once that's sewn together, I'm going to go in with a fine tip brush, and if that will focus, stand up first, there you go, and gone in with a stand knife and scraped away the eyes because they were just black dots. So I'm going to go in there with a bit of white paint and paint in the eyes, and then do the pupils. You've seen me do the beard, so basically do the blue trunks, blue cape, stick his hand back on, paint in his eyes, and do the logo on his chest, and we'll be done. Okay guys, that's the blue chunks now on, and as you saw I didn't sew them up, I've just glued them on using ball glue. And the next part is the belt, and what I'm going to be using for the belt is an old brown wallet, and I'm going to be using the inside, I'm using that bit there on the inside for the belt. Okay guys, I've taken the strip out of the wallet, cut it into a thin strip, and that is now the belt. And I'm going to be using the same ball glue that I used to glue the pants on to glue the strip on. The next step is to put the little brass oval in the centre, and to do that we're going to cut a little oval out of this brass sheet. So we've got the belt, that's now finished. This is actually different from the last one I attached. I recut it because the last one was a bit big. We've got the belt, we've got the buckles, we've got the trunks, we've got the yellow outfit. I painted the boots blue, and still got to do his eyes. And at the moment, the next step is the cape. So I've got reference photos to my right on the computer, so let's get cutting. The first cape that I cut wasn't correct, and it's all about test and adjust. So first of all I cut a little oval in, and then I realised that all this that I'd cut out here wasn't going to fit around the front of the figurine on his shoulders here. So I've re-gone around it and I've altered the design. So I'm going to cut this out, try it on, see if it fits. I've glued it on the back and I've cut it so it's level with the neckline, and in the reference photos, if I just spin you around, as you can see there, and I'll zoom in, you can see that it's actually quite ruffled on each side of the neck. So what I'm going to do, zoom out, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some glue on either side of his shoulders, glue it down and then ruffle it up, and hopefully I'll get the ruffled effect. So let's give it a go. Okay guys, that's the cape now done. Now for the main bit which I've been holding off to do last is the eyes, because you need a steady hand for that, so let's give it a go. Okay guys, so I've been watching a few of Cosplay Chris's videos, and his eyes look like they're a shade of grey and with a slight bit of blue, so that's what I've mixed. I've mixed some grey, some bit of silver and some blue, as you can see on this bit of rag here. So I'm going to dab my fine tip paintbrush into it and paint in the eyes. the blue slash grey of his eyes done. Now I just need a tiny prick of black for the pupil. Okay, I'm going to be using this brush, the very tip of it, and with some black paint. And I just need to dip the end into the black, like threading a needle. There you go, that's all I need. And there we go, guys. Full in focus. That's the eyes done. The cape done, but I'm not 100% happy with it. So I'm going to take it off and redo it. I've recut the cape, and luckily I just had enough blue material to do it. That's the last piece of blue material I had. And the reason I wasn't happy with how the cape came out is, if I show you the reference photo there on my computer, you can see around the neck it's all ruffled, and when I put the cape on the figure it was just lying flat on his shoulders. So the way I'm going to try and get that ruffled effect is I'm going to use some thin strips of foam, glue them on in lengthways over his shoulders, and then glue the cape over it, and hopefully I should get the ruffled effect on his shoulders. Okay, with a black marker you can just see on his left shoulder and right shoulder I've marked where the underside of the edge of the cape goes, and on his back I put a little mark there, and that's where I'm going to be gluing the first strip of foam, and then the cape will cover the foam and glue over the top. That's the foam glued on his shoulder there, and then when the cape gets glued over the top, hopefully it'll give it a rippled look. Just got to repeat the process on the other shoulder, and then we'll glue the cape on. Okay, that's the foam now attached. Now I was using just ordinary super glue to attach that, but for the cape I'll be using the UHU glue, only because the super glue seeps through the material and makes it all hard and you can see it, whereas the UHU glue, similar to the ball glue that I was using earlier, it doesn't seep through. Unfortunately I've run out of the ball glue, but I've still got this stuff, and this is the same glue that I used on the Joker Imposter Batman for the cape on that, and again, like I say, it doesn't soak through the material. So let's go ahead and attach the cape. Okay, the cape has been a complete success. The final bit is the logo on the chest, and then we will be done. Okay, so I somehow managed to lose the recording of me doing his chest logo, but what I essentially did, using a bit of thin foam, as you can see here, I drew out the design and then cut it out, and using a bit of super glue, just super glued it onto his chest. Obviously I did it on red foam, not purple, just using this as an example. Also, I was so happy with the way the figure turned out that I stuck it in the post straight away and sent it off to Chris. So there is no reveal. I forgot to do it. I was excited to get it posted off, but if you click on the link below, it will take you to Cosplay Chris's unboxing and you'll be able to see the finished product. So guys, I had a really good time making this figurine, this custom, and thanks for watching, and I shall see you for the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Plenty more customs, plenty more DIY projects, and a lot more cosplay props coming. Cheers.